Good morning, friends. How are you all today? Hope doing well. Stay home and stay safe. So, in the last session of class 9th social studies, we learnt about our earth, especially about the interior of the earth we have read. Earth's interior was broadly classified into 3 layers. The top layer is called as crust, the middle layer is called as mantle, and third layer or the center part we call it as core. And core is further divided into 2 layers. One is outer core, the other one is inner core. The depth of each layer, when you observe, crust extends up to a depth of only 100 kilometers, whereas mantle extends from 100 kilometers to 2,900 kilometers. Whereas the center of the earth, if you go, it's 6,356 kilometers. So from 2,900 kilometers to 6,356 kilometers, it's a core, inner core and the outer core, both put together. And we have further understood that Earth's interior is a very hot. As a result, all the matters present in the Earth's core are in liquid form. Now today we learn about the movements of Earth crust. Movements of Earth crust we shall learn. Crust is the upper layer, as you all know that. And this Earth's crust, which got formed some millions of years ago, is it constant or is it in the same shape for the millions of years? As of the human experience, they look fixed, but these have evolved over a process of millions of years to come to the present position. They collided each other, they merged, they raised up, they dried up, formed into oceans, formed into mountains, and the present shape of earth terrain or crust has evolved over a period of millions of years. It was in the early 20th century, a German geophysicist called as Alfred Wegener introduced a theory called as the theory of continental drift. He proposed this theory by keeping in mind a supercontinent. He called it a supercontinent called as Pangaea, which he termed to exist some 220 million years ago. From there, the supercontinent broke. It torn into 2 pieces, 2 blocks, further collided each other. Many parts got broken. Some of them got collided each other, some of them merged, some of them got apart, and which has given the shape of the present continents. This is what the theory he proposed called as the continental drift theory. It's called as continental drift theory. This theory proposed by Alfred Wegener proved that it has taken millions of years for the Earth's crust to take the present position, and this position is also not fixed, and it's still undergoing many changes. Still today, these bodies or this crust is constantly moving, and they may change even their shape after a few more years. Initially, this Pangaea got divided into two blocks. He divided this into two blocks. One is Laurentia, and the other one is Gondwana. And these two bodies, these two blocks, are divided by a narrow inland sea called as Tethys Sea. This is the sea which divides the Laurentia and Gondwana. Laurentia is to the north of India, and Gondwana is India and its southern. Laurentia consists of Europe, Asia, North America, Greenland, many other land bodies which are to the north of Indian subcontinent comes under the Laurentia. Gondwana consists of Africa, Australia, part of India, Southeast Asia, South America. These all are part of Gondwana. These both are divided by a narrow sea called as Tethys Sea. This is how Alfred Wegener tried to prove to the world about his continental drift theory regarding Laurentia and Gondwana, which are separated by a narrow sea called as Tethys Sea. Later, after millions of years of evolution, this Tethys Sea got completely disappeared. Today we have different water bodies dividing the continents, but still today these continents are constantly moving. But the movement is very slow, that we can't feel. This is how he tried to give the explanation for the formation of the present continents and oceans. We shall further see about the movement of the crust in detail in the next chapter under the heading called as lithosphere, the jigsaw puzzle of the Earth's crust. We shall see in the next lesson in detail. But you remember that Earth's crust is not constant, it keeps on moving. The next thing is the Earth's grid system we shall understand now. When you observe the atlas, you might have seen at the end, at the last page, something like have you seen anything like this in the last page? It describes that this is a place located in this country, which you find in that book, page number. And these two are latitudes and longitudes. So how do we understand or locate this place on a map is with the help of the latitudes and longitudes. The network of longitudes and latitudes on a map is called as grid. This is called as a grid. It is easy for us to locate the places exactly where it is present. So Earth's grid system is helpful in pointing out a particular place, and it is used by most advanced transport system in order to locate a place. We shall see about the latitudes and longitudes also in detail now. In the last session there was an introduction of latitudes, important latitudes and longitudes. I shall further explain you about the latitudes and longitudes in today's class also. See children, latitudes are also called as parallels. Why are they called as parallels? They are drawn lines parallel to each other, and they circle entire globe. They are parallel to each other. There are 90 latitudes in each hemisphere. This 0 degrees latitude is called as equator, which divides the globe into two equal halves. In the northern hemisphere you find 90 latitudes, and in the southern hemisphere you find 90 latitudes. The word latitudes is derived from a Latin word called as latitudo, which means width. There are important latitudes. 23.5 northern latitude, we call it as the Tropic of Cancer, and 23.5 southern latitude, we call it as the Tropic of Capricorn, and 90th latitude is in the northern hemisphere is North Pole, and 90th latitude in southern hemisphere we call it as South Pole. What is the usage of these latitudes? These latitudes will give us the information of the temperature and even the climatic conditions of a place. The places which are located very near to the equator, where the Earth's sun's rays fall almost obliquely, will receive very high temperature, and the places which are away from the equator receive less temperature. So whether the place is hot or cool can be described with the help of the latitudes. Whereas the horizontal lines drawn on a map, we call them as longitudes. The word longitude is derived from a Latin word called as longitudo, which means length. You remember, friends, latitudo means width, longitudo means length. The width and the length. This passes from the North Pole to the South Pole. They intersect at the poles, and these are the semicircles. There are 180 longitudes on the eastern hemisphere. There are 180 longitudes on the western hemisphere. The 0 degrees longitude is called as prime meridian. Prime meridian it is called as. And exactly opposite to this on a globe is 180th longitude, which we call it as anti-meridian, because this is prime meridian, and opposite to this, anti means opposite. Opposite to that is 180th longitude, which we call it as anti-meridian. And it takes sun's rays to fall from one longitude to another longitude 4 minutes of time. These longitudes are helpful to identify the time of a place. India extends from 30th longitude to the 60th longitude. There is a variation of 30 longitudes from the easternmost side to the westernmost side. The time may not be the same. In such condition, we have taken 82 degrees 30 minutes east longitude as the Indian Standard Time. The International Standard Time is 0 degrees longitude, which we call it as Greenwich Meridian or the Prime Meridian, which passes through London in Britain. Whereas 82 degrees 30 minutes east longitude, we consider it as Indian Standard Time. It passes through Allahabad and even Kakinada from Andhra Pradesh. The time which takes place at 82 degrees 30 minutes east longitude is the time of entire India. Even Arunachal Pradesh follows the same, and Dwaraka in Gujarat also follows the same time. So this is how the latitudes and longitudes are helpful in identifying the temperature and the time of a place. And in the next session, we shall understand about the time zone. Till then, take care, children. Thank you.